Happy Monday. Welcome back from vacation. In case you're doing math first instead of reading, it is day 3. We're going to be doing a couple things. We are going to be taking repeated addition with fractions and turning it into multiplication sentences. We are going to take multiplication and we're going to add we are going to multiply a fraction times a whole number, and then we are going to do word problems using that strategy. Has since moved since the taping of my other videos, but you can see he is still sleeping. But that's good because he's letting me get lots of work done. You need to grab your day 3 math packet and a pencil. As soon as you have it, please put your name on top. And that is everybody. All right, so first we're going to do repeated addition, number 1. So let's say that we have 5/6 plus 5/6 plus 5/6 plus 5/6 plus 5/6 equals. Now, obviously, I can solve this. When the denominators are the same, I keep the same denominator. I add up my numerators. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That equals 25/6. I can also write this exact same problem as a multiplication sentence. You might be saying, well, why, Mrs. Weber, would you want to do it? Well, it's more efficient. It doesn't take as long to write, and multiplication is faster than counting by fives, especially if there are a lot of copies. So all I do is count up how many fractions I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That becomes my whole number. I multiply it by what each fraction is worth. That's 5/6. And remember before when we talked about multiplying a whole number by a fraction, it's really 5/1 or 5 divided by 1, because 5 divided by 1 is 5. So I take 5 times the numerator, which is 25, and I keep the same denominator. So either way, it is worth 25/6, but you know me, if I can find a shortcut, I'm going to take it every time. All right, now sometimes I just have multiplication. I don't have to worry about the repeated addition. So please write down 6 times 3/8. Now, we know that we're going to take the whole number times the numerator. We get 18. We keep the same denominator. Now, we get an improper fraction. Now, I know we left it as an improper fraction in problem number 1, but normally I like to rename it as a mixed number. You have learned 2 different strategies. You can either divide 18 by 8, or you can number bond. I prefer the division. 8 goes into 18 twice. 2 times 8 is 16. 8 minus 6 is 2. 2 is less than 8. Nothing to bring down. 2 is my remainder. So my quotient of 2 becomes the whole number. My remainder becomes the numerator, and I keep the same denominator. If you number bonded it, that's fine. If that's the strategy you prefer, please use it. That's the great thing about math. We can solve things many different ways. However, way you did it, you should have come up with the answer of 2 2/8. All right, now, word problem. The serving size for cereal is 2/3 of a cup. And each of 27 students in class measured out 1 serving to eat for breakfast. If a box of cereal contained 16 cups, how many boxes of cereal were needed? So, we would take, and we would use our multiplication expression, 27 students, our whole number. We would multiply it by our fraction of 2/3. So, 27 times 2, I'm going to go over to the side. I'm going to solve that. I get 54, and I keep the same denominator. Now, as you can see, I have an improper fraction. I'm going to divide to turn it into a mixed number. 3 goes into 5 once. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 is less than 3. I'm going to bring down the 4. I'm going to repeat. 3 goes into 24 8 times. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 minus 24 is 0. So this time, it turns into a whole number of 18. Well, I had told you that 1 box of cereal contains 16 cups. So if we have 18 cups, we are going to need 2 boxes of cereal. And remember, whenever I'm working with a word problem, I always like to write my answer in a sentence. So what we're doing today is really nothing totally brand new. Like we talked about the other day with fractions, we just keep building on what we already know. So let's turn to the problem set. Number 1 says to draw a tape diagram to represent this. So there's my whole. I've got 4 groups, and each one is worth 3/4. That's all I have to do for that problem. So you're going to do the same for 2. For this one, the part B of number 1, you're going to turn this into a multiplication expression. That's what we did back here for number 1. And you're going to do the same for 2B. For number 3, what you need to do is you're going to take your repeated addition sentences. You're going to rewrite them as a multiplication sentence, and then you're going to solve. So 3A is partially been done. We'll finish it off. 4 times 7 is 28. We keep the same denominator. That's an improper fraction. We're going to turn it into a mixed number. I know that 5 can go into 28 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. 28 minus 25 is 3. Keep the same denominator. So you're going to do this for B and C. Follow these steps. Flip to the back. These are already written as multiplication sentences, so you can just solve. And then you've got 3 word problems. Please solve and put your answers in a complete sentence. Do your best, and we will go over these when you come back to school on Thursday.